You are watching the Global Gamers Invitational Tournament brought to you by iFixit. SCVs for the real world. The Handsome Nerd attire for the handsomest of nerds. And Esports United, sponsored by Intel. This broadcast is also made possible by IC Cup TV, TeamLiquid.net, and of course, Blizzard Entertainment. Hello everyone and welcome back to another cast from the Global Gamers Invitational. This is the round of 32. This game between CheckPrime, the red Zerg, and his opponent, TheWind, the blue Zerg. So two very well-known Korean Zerg players. So this promises to be a fantastic series. Two of the best going up against each other. A little bit early in the tournament, unfortunately, because these guys probably could have gone most of the way. But unfortunately, only one can move on from this best-of-3 series. Once again, I want to thank those sponsors, iFixit, SCVs for the real world, but also the Handsome Nerd and Esports United, who has, through Intel, donated several very nice Intel processors. So, nice prize pool for this tournament. Thanks to those sponsors for bringing out big names like CheckPrime and TheWind. So we are here on Lost Temple, which Zerg players tend to hate, especially against Terran players, because of these cliffs for Thors and Siege Tank drops, but fortunately for both of these players, they are up against Zerg opponents, and they couldn't care less about this map. I just want to point out how well refined these players are. You'll see that this Overlord moved just far enough to have been able to see if there was a hatchery there. If this was a Nexus, he would not have seen it, but they both know they're Zerg. He would have seen creep from here, and both players really cut it close. And they're immediately heading for their opponent's location. And neither of them, I am wrong, here it is, finally a drone scout. This is something you really need to do as a Zerg player, is be willing to sacrifice a little bit of mining time to get your opponent's build and location early on if you don't nail it on the Overlord. It's always nice to find him here and then retreat before your opponent can see your Overlord, but you need to know. So Check here now knows exactly where his opponent is, but hasn't seen his build order. We do have a spawning pool down for both players. TheWind a little bit later than Check, so see he is already moving out with 6 Zerglings. So I think this was a 10 pool, something like that, very early pool. And TheWind here finally only now able to produce a Queen and Zergling. So these Zerglings are going to be in very early, and he scouts it with his Overlord, throwing up a Spine Crawler, getting ready for this early aggression. Drone coming late on an aggressive Spine Crawler. The nice thing about Zerg versus Zerg is you can always use your opponent's creep, and these drones are unable to finish it off because the Lings engage. But all these drones coming off, drones have as many hit points as Lings, as much damage, just slower attack speed, so he's easily able to chase off these drones, these Zerglings rather, at the cost of mining time. And he is going to be able to drive back the Spine Crawler and finish off these Lings at a relatively low cost. Only 75 minerals behind now. And looks like he's probably going to get the Spine Crawler. Yes, his is up first, so this Spine Crawler rush is going to fail. 6 Lings, only 5 of them left, and CheckPrime does retreat with that drone, manages to save it and cancel the Crawler. And this game is going to evolve. So we'll see if anyone's throwing a Baneling Nest. We do have 1 gas going down. No gas at all for CheckPrime, so he was really banking on the success of that Spine Crawler rush. Now, no gas, so no Speedlings. He does have a considerably larger army than his opponent at this point in time, but he is going to get out-teched pretty badly. Did do some damage there with the drones, did cancel some mining time, so hopefully he did enough damage to his opponent to make up for that. TheWind now getting a second extractor, still not enough gas for a Zergling speed or a Baneling's Nest, so we aren't seeing any interesting tech choices, but Check meanwhile getting his extractor, so he can hopefully get some Speedlings or lair tech as he sees fit. Probably going to see a transfer right now. There goes 1, 2, 3 drones on the way. And he's going to try and push into his opponent's base again. The Spine Crawler and Queen going to make it very difficult. But he does have a large mass of Zerglings here. It's going to be very hard for him to press in. I don't think he's going to get... And there is a hidden pack of Zerglings from TheWind here to try and encircle his opponent. So he's probably going to get 1 or 2 Zergling kills here. 1 Zergling kill, and his opponent is forced away. Check going to take advantage of this. Hopefully what he thinks is a small concave advantage. He does have one, but he's just going to get overwhelmed in terms of numbers. And does a very good job holding ground there. I think he probably killed as many Zerglings or more than he lost. So slightly ahead there, but he's going to lose these 2 Lings. Probably speed going to be kicking in pretty soon. I'm wrong. He has not even started researching speed, so neither player opting for Zergling speed, just massing Lings. And Lair Tech going down for oGs.TheWind, and Zergling speed coming up for CheckPrime. So Check is staying in Tier 1, has gotten a Spine Crawler out of fear of a run by, I guess. It does have only one Ling in retreat and many chasing him, so that's probably a good idea. That it was the Spine Crawler down here and the Queen that really dissuaded those Zerglings from pressing in. They could not risk getting into this tight quarters, getting surrounded by drones, Queens, and Lings, while getting picked at by the Spine Crawler. So a scout coming in for the win, maybe to try and snipe a drone or two, and they do slide through the drones very easily. I think they got one drone, maybe two, but the last of those Lings are cleaned up. He probably likes what he sees. His opponent has pretty much the same number of drones as him, but no Lair Tech. So new tech options will be available to the win before his opponent. He's getting that Spire already. His opponent will not be able to scout this anytime soon. It'll take a long time for these Overlords to make it in. So by the time his opponent is able to detect any Spire activity, it's going to be most of the way up. So things looking very good for the Wind. He fended off that early Spine Crawler rush, and Czech really lost a lot in his economy by bringing those drones to the front, building those early Lings and early spawning pool, and it's starting to show. Income-wise, we can see it now, 26 to 14. I should have looked at that a lot earlier. Czech is just not building drones at all, so he's probably going all in very soon. And it looks like an Overlord here dropping some creep to put a Spine Crawler further forward. Speedlings from the Wind. He has a larger force than Czech here, so Czech is in a huge amount of trouble here. He is going to need to really make something happen. There's some Banelings that can make something happen, but unfortunately the Speedlings are going to get here just a little bit too early, and Czech going to have to do his best just to delay these Speedlings, and I think the Wind is just going to pull out. He has absolutely no urgency. There's only one Queen, hatchery not even morphing. Once those mutas come out, it'll be lights out for CheckPrime. So the Wind is just going to retreat. He is feeling no urgency at all with those Spine Crawlers in defense. And I imagine now, yes, 5 Mutalisks are on the way. This one base Muta play almost certainly going to just destroy CheckPrime here. But here he is coming. This is that all-in I expected. The Wind is able to push him back temporarily, but those Banelings do catch up. So he's forced to retreat. If those Banelings can kill enough Zerglings, it is possible for CheckPrime to finish off enough of his opponent's army and enough of these drones to make a difference. But there they are. The Mutalisks are out. Time is now. Czech has to engage, and he just GG's, recognizing that there is no way he can counter these Mutalisks before they completely destroy his base. So a quick win for oGs.TheWind. That early rush turned out to be an all-in, and unfortunately CheckPrime unable to recover. So Czech is down by 1 game. It is 1-0, best of 3, so he is facing elimination already from his oGs pal, the Wind. So tune in, guys, to the next game in this series on IC Cup TV, and also follow the tournament on TeamLiquid.net. I know there are 10 million tournaments there now, but you can find the Global Gamers Invitational in that thread. So keep tuning in, guys. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a good one.